Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. And in today's video, find out what made me pick this back up. A lot of people are going to be like, wow, we never thought that would happen. Well, let me put your worries at rest. So, how did I end up with a Bible in my truck? I'm not saying I don't have any. I got quite a few at my house that I use for reference. But other than that, don't have much use for it. So, why did I end up with one? Well, I was doing my rounds for a few of the little free libraries in my neighborhood, which when I have a slow day from work, it's kind of one of those give the universe and hopefully the universe gives back to you, but just be a good person. So I was taking some books out to my, put in those boxes. So, I'll cut in a video that shows what I just did here. So I organized this one a little bit. And this one is pretty low on stuff. There's a couple good books on the top. And then these are actually learning books, writing and spelling, which is cool. But then you have your normal, no actual stuff from any individual religion, but there's a Bible and then this medical pregnancy handbook that doesn't really belong in here. So these are going to go out. And then we're going to put in stuff like this. Yeah, much better. No more. Yeah. Little free libraries should not be full of religious materials. They should be full of things to help out the kids that want to read. So those will go in and we'll go from there. So I have more books down there, but I've got like 3 more stops I need to check, and I don't want to use them all up. So that's it for now, but much better selection in this one now. But when I do those, I intentionally take out anything that is religious. Now, I've even said, Buddhism as a religion, or Buddhism as a way of life, is kind of where I'm at. But even if there was a book in Buddhism, I would pull that out, probably to read myself, and then I would take it to probably take it to a used bookstore and put it there instead. Simply for the fact, the main purpose of these little free libraries is to provide books to children. And spirituality and religion, that's great for children, as long as you're not forcing it on them. If they're finding it themselves, if they're looking for it themselves, if they're asking about it themselves, that's fine. Indoctrination before they have a choice, I just don't agree with. And there's a lot of psychologists and many other professionals that agree with that. I actually am going to start a series, I don't know how long it'll be, on this book. This is a very small book. I don't know why I said small. Anyway, it's called The Four Agreements, a Toltec wisdom book, which I am very curious about the Native American religions and their beliefs, just because they're just as older than all these European philosophers, things from Greece, things from Rome, all the things we were taught in school. These are just as older, and they've got a similar or sometimes better value, just depending on your situation or who you are. But regardless, in the intro to that book, it talks about, well, not the intro, the first chapter, all the things that are imposed upon us as we grow up and how they shape us. And one of those huge things is religion. So I was a victim of it myself. I indoctrinated my son. And I did that. And when it was done to me, it was done for good purpose by the people that did it. But now that I know differently, I also act differently. So that's kind of where I'm at now with it. And so I go about whenever I have a chance, and I will clean up the little free libraries and, you know, books that are just water damaged and just hammered, or books that are inappropriate. I'll remove those, and I'm always sure to add 2, 3. Oh, this time it was probably 6 times what I took out. Yeah, because I put about 8 or 9 books back in there. And I just took out the 2. So that's kind of my idea on that. The small point of this being, Lloyd Evans brought it out one time that I think he just said he wasn't going to bring up religion to his daughter. And when she brought it up and asked questions, he would answer them diplomatically is not the right word, but factually, and without the shame that goes along with it, which is a big part of it, and without the idea of those rules, just to let her grow up without, you know, getting read my book of Bible stories every night before she goes to bed. And that way she's able to make her own decisions in life based on a more balanced form of learning, instead of, you know, the book that's in my floorboard being the end-all be-all, and if something goes against it, it can't be correct. So just a short one today to bring that up, introduce the other part. That's going to be more of a series I'll film in front of a camera, either in my office or somewhere else, and it'll be a longer form kind of book discussion. So I'm looking forward to that. And that just was kind of showing little things I do that hopefully change. I know as a kid, if I had little free libraries around, I would have been in heaven. That was one thing that was not censored for me. I could read pretty much whatever I wanted, and we had a bookstore in Elko, and the lady that ran the bookstore was awesome, and it's sad to see those go. It's still there, but I mean, she let a 12-year-old have a line of credit essentially at the bookstore because she knew that I would just take out as many books as she would let me, and I would come in on my allowance day and give her $20 because that's what my allowance was, and I got $5 back for everything else, and she just applied that to my account. I think when I got my first major job, I had a bill there that was, you know, $100 and some because I was taking out way more than I was paying for, but she just let it keep going and never bothered me. I would come in and take a book or two, and I would just give her. I was always paperbacks back then. Never anything hardcover. I would wait for stuff to come out in paperback, and then once I had a job and could pay for everything as it happened, I would start buying hardcovers. But I was picking out books that were, you know, $3 or $4 a piece at the time, but she was extending way more credit than she probably should have, and I was just paying for it as I went. So in my mind, I hope some kid runs up and sees, you know, a bunch of interesting books in one of these, and just it makes his day or his or her day, and just is a up pick for them. So that's why I do that part. I'm about out of books, so I found a couple used bookstores that I'm hoping to talk to get more books from them to put in the little free libraries. So kind of do an update when that happens. So remember, it's not always about doing the big things, the major things that adjust how your outlook is on life. Sometimes it's just doing those little things that you can fit in and those little things that have the ability to make a big difference in other people's lives. And if it can be other people that are children, and therefore, you know, it makes a difference to them, and they are the future of our society, then try to do what you can. All right, guys, until next time, I hope y'all are blessed. Have a great day, and I will catch you next time.